Hello, this is Nancy and welcome back to my channel. I was in my dad's office a few weeks ago and I saw this Juke Box on his desk and I asked him where he got it from and he said he made it. It's from wood and cardboard and some lights that he got from Dollar Tree, and he's got a little set of records in there as well. So I'm like, I want to make one for my desk, for my speakers. So I decided to do a VW van. This is a sketch that I made a couple years ago, and I'm using that as a example to trace it onto this. I think it's a eighth inch 12 by 12 basswood. So I'm just drawing it on there. You can draw whatever you want, any shape you want, as long as you measure the speakers that are going in there. This is what you need to do. This video is for inspiration. You don't have to do a VW van or a jukebox like my dad did. This is all up to what you want to make for yourself. Just Google some images, and if you need to, just print it out on paper and trace it onto your board. You don't have to hand draw it. Before you cut it out of your board, make sure that your speakers that you're going to be using fit inside of the drawing. So I just put my speakers on top, and that way I can see that if it's tall enough or not tall enough. This is where a scroll saw will be handy, but I don't have a scroll saw, so I'm going to be using my box cutter and go to town, just little at a time, cut pieces. This basswood is pretty easy to cut, so it's not too hard on your hands, but it's just a lot of intricate cuts. Now to cut the top and the bottom piece, I'm adding the speaker again to the board and making sure that it's wide enough. If you want more space, you can add more space. But this is how I did mine. So again, this is all personal preference. That's why I'm not putting any dimensions on here, is because I may have a different speaker than you have, or you may want a bigger van than I have. So this is an idea of what you can do. I clip the two sides together, that way I can make sure that they're even. So I'm sanding the edges down a little bit and just smoothing it here and there, so that when I separate them, they're exactly the same size. Now I'm going to be drawing a line across the bottom of the van. This is where I'm going to glue the bottom and the top. Well, the top doesn't need a line because it's going to be on the roof line. And where you see there that I cut open the wheel well there, don't do it on yours, because in the end you won't see that opening, because the way I was planning on doing it didn't come out the same way that I wanted it. So just do it squared off like the back wheel. This is my first time building something like this, so I don't show all the steps in order because I'm trying to trial and error. And here where I'm putting up the top and the bottom, I do go back and add some tumbling tower blocks against the bottom there, so that way the boards have something more to glue onto. Again, I lost some footage. I think my computer doesn't like me sometimes. I added the wheels. I used some dowels, and these wheels or the rounds, I've had them for years, so I'm not sure where I got them from. So I added a dowel to it, and then just glued the whole thing to the bottom of the van. So it's not the wheels don't actually move. That's why I say that the wheel well that's covered, that's arched, you really can't see it anymore. So it's just for fun. to make it easier, quicker, not quicker, but easier for it to glue together, I added some rubber bands from side to side, so that way it stays nice and tight while it's drying. For the back of the van, I used the 1/8 inch board as well, and just cut out an opening for a window, and just slid it in between the two panels, the side panels. And for the front, I used a 16th inch basswood, which is more pliable, so that way you can shape it to the curve of the front of the van. And now I'm getting the Dollar Tree spackling and just covering up the gaps in between the panels, just to make it nice and smoother. Now I'm cutting up some more pieces for the bumpers, for the what do you call those, runners on the side. So you could add different pieces to make it more dimensional, or just leave it flat and just add paint to make it more dimensional. So this part is the decorations are all up to you. Again, I'm using the 16th inch basswood to cut the front of the van, the V portion of it. And it's pretty easy to cut with scissors, so you can just draw the shape you need and then cut it out. If you're liking this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing as well. And in the comments down below, what vehicle or object would you use to make your little speaker box? I'm using some painter's tape here to make sure that all of that front portion stays intact while I'm doing some other stuff on the van. This time I didn't lose the footage, I just forgot to record. I decorated the VW van with some dots. I used some dot painting tools and some, added some peace signs. Used a Dollar Tree gold metallic pen to do the love on top and some details on the side. So like this part is all up to you too. This is how I did mine, and I'm using some of the Dollar Tree cutting mat boards and cutting them down to size to fit the windows, and I'm putting the frosted part on the outside facing out, and I'm using a double-sided tape to adhere those to the inside of the van. For the back door, I added some couple of magnets, that way the doors didn't fall off, even though they're pretty snug, or door is pretty snug. But you can add Velcro if you needed to, or some, a hinge, an actual hinge. But I just added a couple magnets. And this is what it sounds like when you play some music. I'm actually going to show you with some music on. And until next time, be brave, be strong, and create with some peace and love. The sound was a little muffled inside, so a friend of mine suggested drilling some holes on the side, and since I had all these little dots, I just drilled them carefully in the center if I could. But that helped a lot, and I did some at the bottom as well.